So you have so many content ideas, yet you don't know where to start? You've come to the right place. Hello everyone, and today I'm going to be showing you 4 steps on how to stay organized with your many content ideas and how to execute them as well. Now, for those of you who don't know me, my name is Jonny Slimovic, aka Jonny Music, a division of JonnySel Productions. I'm a music arranger and also a media producer of JonnySel Productions as well. And I am on a lifelong mission to create and grow the world's largest pipe organ arrangements library focusing on pop culture music with over 250 arrangements and counting. And because of what I just recently told you guys here, this was exactly one of the reasons why I wanted to make this tutorial, so I can help you guys, the high achievers out there who really want to get a lot of things done, yet you just don't know where to get started. You have so many ideas in your head, yet you don't know where to get started and how to organize all of them. Well, again, you're in luck, because I am going to be showing you how to do that. And so without further ado, let's get started. And so I said a little earlier that that my lifelong mission is to create the world's largest pipe organ arrangements library, and some of you out there, or who knows how many of you out there, have so many ideas very similar to me, and really want to figure out a way how to organize what you want to do. And so my preferred application that I use to help me sort all of this is with Notepad. On Mac OS there would be a similar application to this, though I'm also well aware that there are cloud solutions out there such as Trello.com as well as other things, though for me personally I'm already very used to using Notepad on Windows and Mac OS X equivalent, and whatever the Mac OS X equivalent is to that. And so the first step to organizing your content ideas is to write down your ideas on a list, preferably with Notepad or similar applications. So I'm going to show you guys right now here. This here is my list of the songs, pop culture songs that I've already created for the pipe organ. You can see the songs that I've already completed over here. You can see all of them are 100% done and the such. And the thing is, with your many content ideas, and you're always going to come up with new ideas, you may definitely want to have a list like this. You can keep adding the new list of songs, so you can always come back to it later on and then get to the next step, which I'll show you in a moment. And now a slightly different example is, if you want to start your own cooking channel, or you happen to have your own cooking channel, yet there are a lot of recipes that you want to create, especially if they're in different cuisines, you can definitely use this format here that I showed you guys here. Like, for example, 1, 2, 3, 4. Sorry about that. With each list here, you can write down whatever recipe or cuisine you want to do, and make a sub list under that, and anything like that. And so what I've shown you guys here, this is definitely a starting point for you to get started on executing those many ideas that you guys have. And so yeah, writing down your ideas on a list, that's the first step. And so the next step, step two over here, is to break the ideas down into months. Yeah, break the ideas down into months, and also, depending on the subject matter, put the ones that are seasonal, time appropriate, potentially trending into the months ahead of time, even years ahead if you want to do that. For example, here you can see this notepad text document that I wrote down over here, which was already completed for July of 2018 last year. You can see here I have the Super Mario 64 soundtrack all already completed, as well as the other songs here, and as well as for Mario Kart 64, as you can see here. And I did even leave a reminder for myself here for August 2018. And of course, with that cooking example, with the cooking show example that I mentioned you guys as well, that each main headline would be for each recipe, and even for sub lists for that recipe or anything like that. And you can see over here in the list, that I have been making sure so that so that I am making sure that I am keeping track with the things that I've already finished. Here you can see I've marked them as 100% done, as well as these sub ones I marked done, and as such, so then that will help, so that whenever you're going through each of these, for example, whenever you're going through each of these in the list of each month, for example, that you type down, it'll give you a sense of accomplishment that you have actually completed that. And I'm gonna actually show you guys a little bit step further here with now getting on to step 3. Actually before I before I get into step 3, I almost forgot about depending on the subject matter. Subject matter, for example, here back in April of 2019, which is pretty recent, I have released an organ arrangement of Rick Astley's Never Gonna Give You Up at around April Fool's Day, which I planned in months ahead of time. And you can also apply this to many other ideas and the such that you want to do for whatever it is that's going to be coming weeks, months, or even years in ahead, aka big tent events. April Fool's Day would be considered a big tent event, as well as Christmas Day, New Year's Eve, anything like that. Even when it comes to film releases, if you're into music like I am, you can prepare ahead of time a cover of a certain song for that particular day ahead of time, so you can get more attention with that. Though, of course, in general, don't expect your videos to get viral in an instant. It rarely happens, though it is still a smart move to keep in mind the events that will be happening in the future that may actually help you a lot for planning and such, as well as Game of Thrones as well. I also did prepare a game back in April, two Game of Thrones tracks, one here and another here for my $50 patron Juke Denton. Shout out to him for his request for Light of the Seven from Game of Thrones. That is also another example of breaking down your content ideas into months depending on the subject matter, of course, as well as the Prince of Egypt, since Prince of Egypt is of course part of the story of the Jews, or Jews leaving Egypt from their over 400 years of captivity. And this was actually I planned this in ahead of time to be released at around Passover or the Holy Week, aka the Easter Day weekend and the such, or Easter weekend. Yes, that is also another example, again, as to organizing your content ideas ahead of time depending on the events that are happening in the future and the such. And so we will now transition to the third step, which is I actually almost forgot to mention too, in terms of the cooking example. If for example, I did mention earlier too, for April or late March for Passover, if you're going to be preparing special meals that happens at around Passover or anything like that, you can also plan those kind of cooking show videos ahead of time for that particular time when Passover comes, which is also a really good example there. And so many ideas that come along with that, with the cooking example, especially Christmas Day, and so many other holidays out there, Muslims, Ramadan, and a lot of holidays you can come up with, for big tent events, not just holidays, but also with film releases, video game releases, anything of that, basically like very special events. Big tent events would also mean special events. And so, enough with me rambling, let us now move on to the third step, which is let me bring this up real quick. Yes, this one here is a good example for me to use for the third step, which is to plan ahead the general steps you'll need to accomplish each and every content idea. Let me repeat that again. This one's crucial. Plan ahead the general steps you will need to accomplish each and every content idea. For example, here, with my example here, with my organ arrangements, you can see here with my Radetzky March by Johann Strauss Sr., the organ and orchestra mashup. You can see everything here is 100% complete, yet I'm showing you here the final step here, which is the social media distribution, actually. One for YouTube, which is the main primary one that I use, and then sharing it as well on FB, Facebook, MLP forums, since I am MLP forums, I am a brony. Well, I am a brony, that is a huge disclaimer there. And Patreon as well, sharing it on Patreon as well. SC, which stands for SoundCloud too. And for other ones as well, which are arrangements, I do put on MUSC for MuseScore. Though, yes, the final step that I showed you guys there was for the social media distribution. And then, however, I will type down over here as an example for anything in general, especially if you have your own cooking show or anything like that, and you need to figure out what those general steps are. Well, for one thing, of course, well, you already have the content idea there, so the brainstorming is pretty much already there. So the next step is to plan ahead of time how you're going to make the video. And for my personal case, I would need to create the sheet music first, which would be the very first step, and that would account to at least 50% of the entire idea project. For each of the songs here that you see here that I've already completed, for example, I would mark as 50% when I've already finished the sheet music of that particular song, and also between 0 to 50%, I would pre-calculate which or how much of the sheet music has been completed, and in other cases, the sheet music can translate to other ideas. For example, the cooking show. For example, for the cooking show, definitely you're gonna need to know what ingredient. Yes, for the cooking show example, what ingredients you're gonna need, what ingredients you are going to need for what you're going to make, the tools you will need to prepare, and all that planning for the 50% part of the project. You are going to need to sort that out for sure if you're starting your own cooking show, and of course that can apply to any others, which is definitely the planning. And in my personal case, the big planning was to create the sheet music in my example, and for the cooking show as well, getting the ingredients, the tools, and all that jazz so you can get started on cooking. And then after you get the ideas sorted out, you're then going to want to start the production of for example, the cooking show example. You're going to want to start recording the video to showcase how you're making the recipe, of course, and the such. And that can account to about 25%. That can account to 25% of that timeline there for actually creating the video as well, and then for at least 15% or so with post production or editing of that video, which includes audio as well. Then the rest of the percent, either 10-ish% would be for distributing on social media. And for my personal case with my organ arrangements, for example, after I finish the sheet music, I would then export the audio files, or export the audio from the sheet music software that I use, which is Finale, and then for the next 15 or so percent of the progress, I would be using Adobe Audition to edit those audio files, and then the next 15-ish%, and then for the next 15-ish% of that project, I would also create the MuseScore version, which I would then prepare that MuseScore version of the sheet music for later on for distribution. yet also as well for the video editing part of it, to prepare the video version of my organ arrangements, for example. I did mention to you guys already a little earlier the last 10-ish% of, for my personal case, distributing my content on the platforms that you already see here. On the notepad example here. The fourth and final step is to just execute on those ideas and do it. And I already told you guys in the third step with the percentages, well, you can predetermine what they are, or you can figure out what percentages those are on the fly, as I have been figuring out what percentages those are in with percentage of progress of those content ideas being made. And you can see like how well organized my content ideas are, since I have, for my personal case, there is so many songs I wanted to create for the pipe organ, especially the sheet music part of it, which I really want to benefit organists around the world. And also with this tutorial video, I really wanted to help you guys out with organizing what your content ideas are, and getting straight onto it, and by bringing you step by step with these 4 steps how you can take action on those content ideas and make them happen. And there you go, you guys. For those of you especially who really want to be high achievers with the content ideas that you have no excuse now to figure out exactly how you want to make those content ideas come to fruition. And with this, you guys know now exactly how to organize those content ideas of yours to make them happen, as I said before. And for those of you who run your own YouTube channels and you want to take them to the next level, I am an Awesome Creator Academy member, and because I am a member of this academy, which is run by none other than Roberto Blake, I will be also leaving affiliate links for you guys to get started taking your YouTube channels to the next level by signing up to the Awesome Creator Academy, or by taking advantage of the offers that are there on the Awesome Creator Academy affiliate links for you guys to take advantage of, especially the YouTube Starter Kit, joining the mentorship group as well, and even going on to a private coaching session with Roberto Blake. I will be leaving those affiliate links for you guys to help you guys take your channels to the next level, thanks to Roberto Blake and his Awesome Creator Academy, which I'm proudly a member of. He's helped me a lot with figuring out what I want to do with my channels, and I cannot thank him enough for his insight as to how YouTube works, and also how to take action on the ideas. And so, yeah. And with that being said, guys, thank you so much for watching this tutorial video. I really hope this helped you guys out with what you want to do with your YouTube channels, or anything like that, whether you're creating content for Facebook, Instagram, or anything like that, though also primarily for YouTube with what I showed you guys here. I really genuinely hope this tutorial helped you out. And if you have any other questions regarding what I said in this tutorial, if you want me to elaborate on a few steps, please feel free to also ask me those questions in the comments. I'll be more than happy to answer those questions for you. And I hope to see you guys down there in the comments. And so, for those who haven't done so yet, if you really liked my content, please don't forget to subscribe and also click the notification bell so you don't miss out on new content that will be definitely coming for many more years to come, with my lifelong mission to benefit many people around the world, and especially making people's dreams come true with the work that I'm doing. And also as well with this tutorial, with helping those of you figure out how you're going to take action on those ideas that you have and never lose track on what they are. Thank you guys again for watching, and see you next time.